Jamel President grew up less than a mile from the College of Charleston and graduated from Burke High School. He was as hard-nosed and spirited as any player I have ever coached. On the defensive end, he always guarded our opponent's best scorer. His jump shot was picture perfect, and he iced many games with his foul shots. In fact, in his senior year, he ranked 4th nationally from the foul stripe. He played in the backcourt with Anthony Johnson, and they made a magnificent duo. In an NCAA game against Stanford at the United Center in Chicago, Jamel was voted Chevrolet Player of the Game. After graduation from the college, Jamel has given so much back to the community. He presents to youngsters seminars in SAT taking and academics, and conducts clinics and camps teaching the ABCs of basketball. He is also president and CEO of the DAE Foundation. Jamel, congratulations, and a big thanks for your contributions and the role model you have become for the youth of Charleston.
President Benson.
Fundamentally mindful. And tonight, Oatmeal Recipe Edition, we got Janet Carter talking about nutrition, Harry Cornell focusing on academics, and myself will be talking about skill development. DAE TV, find better life.
Hello and welcome back to the nutrition segment of DAE TV. And today is basically a summary of everything we've discussed in the prior segments. So I've discussed a lot about making sure you're getting plenty of fruits and vegetables to give you a lot of nutrition in your day. I've talked about healthy carbohydrates and starches like whole grain products, breads, rice, pasta, those types of things. I've talked about lean protein sources like fish and chicken and sometimes even non-animal sources of protein like nuts and beans. And we've talked about the different kinds of fats that are in your foods and how to be really careful not to get too much saturated fat and how to eliminate trans fats. And just in general, I just want to re-emphasize that you really want to just take good care of your body and put in very healthy fuel. So the foods that you choose are the fuel for your body, and you want to make sure you're choosing the healthiest fuel for your body that you can, and just take such good care of your body. It's the only one that you have. So I hope that all this information has been useful to you, and as I've said before, if you ever have any questions or if you want some personal advice, I certainly can help you out, and contact me anytime at dietjc24@yahoo.com. My name is Janet Carter. I'm a registered dietitian at MUSC.
College-bound student athletes first entering Division I college or universities on or after August 1st, 2016 will need to meet new academic rules in order to receive athletic aid, practice, or compete during the first year. First, here are 3 terms you need to know. A full qualifier. A college-bound student athlete may receive athletic aids, practice, and compete in the first year of enrollment at a Division I college or university. Academic red shirt. A college-bound student may receive athletic aid in the first year of enrollment and may practice in the first regular academic term, but may not compete in the first year of enrollment. After the first term is complete, a college-bound student athlete must be academically successful at his or her college or university to continue to practice the rest of the year. Non-qualifiers are college-bound student athletes that can't receive athletic aid, cannot practice, and cannot compete within the first year of enrollment.
DAE TV, find better life.
Right into it. Good. Shot. There you go. Good. That's all right. Good job, though. Shot, though. my baby up like that. Need my baby. Need my baby up. Let's go. Good job, boy. Better. Lay up. Go. Push. Back pedal. Gotta make 5. Get to that basket, Tyrio. Get to that basket. Don't let the ball come too high. Come here. Lock. Stop. See when it rolls in your hand like this, that's too long. Look at that. When I'm stepping, it's rolling. I got to throw it right back. I got to get control of it. Here. Right? See that? Don't let it roll. Don't let it roll. Good job. Good. Good. Good, let's go. To the basket. Good.
Hey, this is Harry Cornell from Page 16. We're here today at Sanders Clyde with DAE TV, Fundamentally Mindful.
DAE TV!
She's won political elections. She's won court cases. And just recently, Colleen Condon scored another victory. I had a chance to talk with her for a special edition of Quentin's Close-Ups. You know, I want to begin this particular interview with some great news. On Friday, I ran into you on North Market Street. You were actually talking to someone, and I almost chased you down, like, hey, Colleen. And I remember we had a great conversation, and I talked to you about the shrimp and grits we have at our restaurant, Market Street Deli.
Absolutely. We'll be coming back to try those.
Yes, indeed. Tell me, since then, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Christmas.
That's right. It's coming up in 15 days, I believe. And let me begin this interview more with some developing news. As you know, last night, the Charleston County Council voted against, I guess, giving additional money to the Medal of Honor Bowl.
Correct.
For those who weren't there, tell me what happened.
Well, we have what's called accommodations tax money that when folks stay in hotels in the Charleston area, they pay an extra tax over the sales tax that we then specifically use to help keep the tourism industry re-energized.
Right.
Well, in the past it used to be very subjective. It'd basically be whichever council member they had signed up to would decide how much they wanted to give, and we kind of honestly divided the pot in 9, and each person kind of divided their share.
Yeah.
And I set in process maybe 5 years ago I proposed and council agreed that we would instead go to a more objective process.
Sure.
So that it wasn't favoritism, but that basically gave a level playing field for everyone. And
Right.
it said, submit what you've done in the past and what we're doing for startups.
Sure.
Submit your actual history of how many heads did you put in beds last year at this event for us to decide what makes sense for this year.
Sure.
So we have a process that we've put in place.
That's
And, well, unfortunately, the Citadel doesn't seem to like to follow the process for accommodations tax money, and they keep coming back out of cycle. Well, in fact, they specifically got a check from us already for $9,000.
That's what I read.
And then they just felt like they needed more, so they ignored the entire process and just made a request and came and asked us to give more money.
Okay.
Now, it might be a good idea that if the Medal of Honor Bowl, which will only be in its second year,
Right.
it might be a nice thing, obviously, to get on TV, and it
Sure.
might give publicity for Charleston.
Charleston, yeah.
But there's a couple of problems. One is, use the process. And you've already gone through the process and got one amount, and now they came back and asked for more.
Wow.
And they have a history of not following the process, and that really is upsetting to me.
Really?
And so, therefore, it went down lines, and certainly, there are some concerns about, the various issues county councils had with the Citadel last year
Sure.
over refusing to take down the Confederate flag.
That's right.
And Johnson Haygood Stadium, who's named for just an awful Southern general who really has a pretty abysmal history, and that can't help but, play a role in some of our minds. And so it failed last night. We failed to give them extra money.
And let's stay on the developing news path, because I want to talk to you about earlier this month when it was announced that Attorney General Alan Wilson filed a motion to stop same-sex marriage in South Carolina, and also to put a hold on Condon versus the Wilson case. As we sit here right now, what is your message to Alan Wilson?
I think he's playing politics. I wish Alan Wilson would start actually focusing on the real problems we have in South Carolina.
Okay.
The issues, what's he doing to address, for example, the Aiken police officers who overreacted and, punched a suspect who was in handcuffs and punched a suspect in the face? What is he doing to work with SLED on pushing that forward?
Okay.
What is he doing to make sure that we've got a good, safe state? And instead, he's, I believe, pandering for whatever political reason and focusing on this case. He knew he was going to lose it. He still knows he's going to lose it.
Okay.
He knows that we live in the 4th Circuit of the United States court system, not the 6th Circuit, but now he's trying to delay the case. It's not going to affect anything.
Okay.
Marriage equality is now finally in South Carolina. And this is just like Loving v. Virginia. People who were shocked
Right.
need to remember that it's only been 30 years since it became fully legal. And in fact, there was a law in the books until the 90s
Right.
that still outlawed interracial marriage in South Carolina, even though it wasn't being enforced any longer.
And you spoke at a press conference many months ago in front of the Charleston County Courthouse, right after a lawsuit was filed basically asking South Carolina to end same-sex marriage in this state. That came a week after the United States Supreme Court refused to look at a case to overturn the same-sex marriage ban in Virginia. Tell me, after the Supreme Court's decision, when do you know that it was South Carolina's turn to really become, a free state?
Honestly, within minutes, I got a phone call at 9:15, within minutes after the U.S. Supreme Court had issued it on October 6th. Someone said, "Did you hear?
Yeah.
Did you hear?"
Yeah.
And I went, then it's the law of South Carolina. It's the law of the 4th Circuit. It's time we can start applying.
Okay.
And others went, well, we've got to sit down and think about it, and what does this mean? And I'm like, it's real simple.
Yeah.
The U.S. Supreme Court said the Virginia decision of Bostic is correct. We have a right to do it, and when I proposed to my fiance back in last February, she made it very clear. We were only getting married when it was legal in South Carolina.
Okay.
So I knew that we had to move forward on things, and so indeed, that was October 6th, and we immediately started making plans to go in and file for a marriage license.
You said this, quote, Nikki Haley stopped me from getting married, and I want that changed. You mentioned Nikki Haley in that particular quote during the press conference, and I'm wondering, was it Governor Haley who was the problem, or was the state's problem as far as their long-standing on really not having same-sex marriage here?
Well, certainly the governor has a right to tell the Attorney General, hold up.
Sure.
It's clear, and I do feel like Nikki Haley and Alan Wilson forgot a part of the oath that every South Carolina elected official has to swear, which includes upholding the Constitution of both the United States and South Carolina.
Okay.
And they keep talking about their duty to uphold the South Carolina Constitution and voters. You know, it has been a very fast-changing time in the last 8 years since South Carolinians voted on that, and indeed all polls that are being done in more recent times show that over half of South Carolinians believe that same-sex marriage is not going to cause any problems. The world hasn't ended in the last 15 days since same-sex couples have been getting marriage licenses here in South Carolina. So I do think that she as governor could have said, we're going to do the right thing.
Okay.
Just like the governor of West Virginia did.
Okay.
Just like the governor of North Carolina did. She could have led the way. And indeed, whether it was how the combination works between Governor Haley and Attorney General Wilson, she is his boss.
Yeah.
And she could have made this process a lot easier, and instead, it's created expense and time unnecessarily for violating my civil rights.
keep moving, Gus. Come on, give him a flex. I was afraid he'd get lost in the tunnel. We're going to walk around and each give you one of these shirts. They're new sublimated shirts. You'll notice they don't even feel bad. We're so excited Gus came. Okay. If I'm going to do opening ceremonies, I have to do a prayer from Springfield, Illinois, one of our Macker organizers.
So, Marcel, how long you been with the Gus Macker tournament, and what do you do for Gus Macker?
Well, I've been working for 14 years, and I'm the IT guy, and normally I do like graphics, websites, server, any kind of media files that Macker needs to put in the release to the public. So I design all the content for those things.
Nice, nice. And as Patty said, you've been in. You're looking for a nice, successful year that's coming up, 2015.
That's right. That's why we always try to update our system online, make it easy for the players to register the teams, and having fun. You know, it's always having fun, and not just playing, but also when they go online, they register, they have the information there. It's a easy going through. It's like 3 steps. You can register your team. So, yeah, we always working on that to make it easy and better for the players.
Before we can start the event, we have to have the first shot. At Macker, we call the first shot the do or die shot. We usually choose the dignitary, the person in the community that's either the best basketball player, coach, legend, what have you. Mike is going to get the hoop around. It's called the do or die shot because if the person makes the shot, we have the little conference to train you and get you all ready to run back to your communities and hug everybody and high five and so forth. If the person misses the shot at 9:27, we have to all leave. Go back in the snow, no information, you gotta leave your manuals behind, no basketball, give your t-shirt back.
I've been around, I am the historian. I tell the story throughout the summer, different places that we go. Back in June, we were in Detroit. We did a tournament down by Detroit. Stevie Wonder shot the shot and made the shot. Yes, he did. We were in Oshkosh, Wisconsin back in August. Ray Charles was there, and Ray Charles made the shot. Nashville, Tennessee, Noah.
No pressure.
Setting me up. Dolly Parton she double dribbled.
It was, Elvis was at the Burger King in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
That's right. So we're going to bring Judith Paris Hilton up, and Judith she was here last night while we were setting up till 9 o'clock. She was practicing this. So we have the line.
Judith!
Here we go. Oh, Judith goes up too. There's no pressure whatsoever, Judith. There's no pressure. So, can you give us, what are you going to shoot?
What shot?
What shot are you going to shoot?
What shot am I going to shoot? I don't know. I'm just going to shoot.
You're just going to shoot it. Okay. So, all right, now everybody, let's go. Let's get Judith going again.
Judith!
No.
Let's move her a little.
We'll move her a little closer. Judith, come on up here. You want to wish your little life?
Yeah, let's. By the way, Judith, the shot has never been missed. We'll give you one more. Okay, no pressure. Okay. Good job. Judith. Go around and give a high five to everybody. Everybody give a high five to Judith.
So how long you guys been doing this for the Gus Macker tournament?
We've been doing the T-shirts for Gus Macker for the last 5 years. Great organization to work with, and really enjoy working with different people around the country and the Midwest and helping them out with their T-shirts for their Gus Macker events.
Right. Was this a company that you guys started prior to working with Gus Macker, or how did you guys kind of fall into the deal?
Yeah, we've been in business for 8 years now, and Gus came on pretty soon after. We had an affiliation with East Bay, and that's where we met.
Oh, East Bay.
Yeah, you betcha. East Bay. So it's been a wonderful relationship. Scott drives me crazy because he's older than me, like I like to tell him, but he still beats me on energy, and I don't like that. So that's why we get here.
And you guys are from?
We're from Verona, Wisconsin. So Madison.
Just outside of Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Good. They still let us here even though we're Badgers.
Nice.
This city last year had players that yeah, he's doing some other stuff. Yeah, he's
My name is Mike Fuller. I'm with Gus Macker Basketball. Been around for forever, on and off, probably about 15, 20 years. Vice President of Operations. I do sales, I do event management. I run a crew throughout the summer. About my only weekend off this year was the 4th of July. But a lot of people keep asking me, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I don't know that yet because I love what I do. It's just a great family event. I've had my family into it as far as players. They work for us. But it's just a great community family event that I've been proud to be with. And I get pretty emotional and about what I do. So again, great event, and we want to see you on the streets.
DAE TV, find better life. Any guys know anything about Gus Macker? Anybody ever played in Gus Macker? Anybody? No? Barrett?
Gus Macker was not in existence when I was young.
No?
There's a lot of things that weren't in existence back when I was young. It's been interesting to see how things have changed, and I just think that one of the problems is that there's too much emphasis sometimes on the sport itself, and again we get back to the educational aspect of it. I'm not a big fan of AAU basketball. I just think there's too much emphasis on they play too many games, first of all. I really do believe we're going to see more and more kids breaking down in college because of the excessive amount of play. And it's just unrealistic to have young people play, and I've experienced this firsthand with my son Cammy, and I kept him out of it most of the time. 2 games perhaps on a Friday night, 3, maybe 4 games on a Saturday, and then 2 or sometimes 3 games on Sunday. So within a span of less than 48 hours, these kids sometimes are playing 8 to 10 basketball games. I'm sorry, Doctor, I mean, that's not good for your body when you're younger. I mean, you're going to break yourself down. And so I really...
That's 3 full weekends out of the month.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. And then all the travel that has to go with it. It's all because everybody, they have that dream of wanting to become, get the college scholarship and become an NBA player, make the millions of dollars. And the reality of it is very few are going to go reach that level. And so I would rather, and there's not enough teaching. Going out and playing is one thing. You got to learn something. You got to get the fundamentals. I always compare it to a skyscraper. You cannot build a tall building on a small foundation. It goes so high and it's going to fall over. And so the more you learn the basic principles and concepts, even in your profession as a doctor, The more you learn, the bigger the foundation. So now if you're gifted and you have a lot of skills and talent, now you have the potential of reaching that full potential because you've got the foundation to build on. But if you don't have that foundation, you'll never be as good as you can possibly be. And there are players in the NBA today who are there because they are so incredible athletically, but and it breaks my heart because they'll never be as good as they should be because they don't understand what to do with all that talent. And so it's a very important part of it. And you know, the Gus Macker thing is a fun thing. It's a chance to go out and play and doing it. And it's not the excessive kind of play that you see in the AAU type of situation. So I think parents have to be a little bit more cautious about what they're doing with their children and what they expose them to, because it's much more important for them to get a chance to learn and be taught the fundamentals than just going out there and playing ball.
you that ball back because you're a shooter.
Definitely.
You're not really passing.
Definitely. Fundamentally mindful. DAE TV, fundamentally mindful.